seeing more of the same of the bans, except Yunara's now moved over to the red side. I don't think Baiye has not played this Yunara so far, so it's very clear that Ultra Prime do not prioritize this champion. Kind of a weird take here from EDG, but maybe expecting that there isn't going to be a curveball thrown.
Let's see if we get that curveball. Aurora, Azir, a lot of mid lane posts maybe being thrown towards Angel's side. To talk about how he's kind of a boring mid laner, it's partly because, well, hey, he's going to draw a 3-ban. That's not boring. They take his Orianna. So that's the plan for Ultra Prime. Try and make Angel uncomfortable in this game, too.
Okay, so 3 champions taken away. Maybe they're going to just first pick the Victor. I don't see a reason why not. You got rid of some of his worst matchups. There's no Rumble. There's no Jarvan on the enemy team. Ryze is now the takeaway. Is that what we're going to get from Ultra Prime, or are we going to see a focus into the jungle? Wukong and Xin Zhao still up.
No jungle ban in a round 1 in the LPL. I don't see that too often, and there's that Wukong. So Junhao going to get one of those priority junglers once again. How much does that ban slate from Ultra Prime shake up the EDG draft? Because now they, if they really wanted to, can try and get Angel one of his last few remaining comfort champions on this R1, R2, even if it is a blind angle for him.
Could go Annie. Still very strong. You also have still, I think, a few top laners that we still have not been able to see. Obviously, talking about things like the Sion in particular for these 2 top laners. Very, very dangerous in the hands of someone like Ultra Prime and Jung. So getting some early skirmishing here. Very easy setup, I think, with what EDG are trying to flip through.
Well, yeah, I just like to see them block the Annie, play into their power strengths, but they're going to blind the Galio. How much flexibility does this have between ZDZ and Angel in your mind?
There's no Rumble top lane anymore, so I don't think this is going top lane. We also haven't seen Galio top lane from ZDZ this split in its entirety. So
right.
I know that Saber is a bit of a melee specialist. We've gone his Tryndamere and his Yasuo. There's a Kassadin hovered there for a moment. Probably was, as we saw in the player cams, asking, like, hey guys, you know, like we could flirt with it for a little bit, but instead going for the Victor. I like what Ultra Prime have. They have a very strong top side here with the Victor and the Wukong being able to skirmish. I think already countering what EDG want. And how many matchups does ZDZ really want to play? I mean, carry top laners right now versus Sion, for the most part, has been Cassante, Aatrox, the Renekton.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough in De Jong, who was able to kind of slap around. All right, okay, listen, it's not the same guy. Hoya is low-key the easiest.
Hoya's worse than ZDZ.
Lane.
We could be fair.
Yeah.
That's just
that
fair
is fair.
to say.
You know what?
Move on.
No digs being thrown around. He will go for the Aatrox, so ZDZ going to have that world ender. A lot of, in-your-face skirmishing power coming across for this EDG top side. And that's going to make talking bot lane pairings pretty intriguing, I would say, specifically for Edward Gaming with what they've got together so far.
Yeah, and because they're on red side, they will have first pick coming out of the bans here. We have Rel being taken away. I wonder if Nautilus is something that they're going to be looking at, because when I see what EDG have, I kind of look at what Ultra Prime's damage is looking like right now, and this Aatrox is unkillable for a large portion of the fights. So who is going to be dealing with him? Typically, we tend to see supports be able to kind of stop an Aatrox, and you're going to need a high damage bottom lane from Ultra Prime. I think a Kai'Sa could work here. You have a pretty short range composition from what EDG are showing, but they're already starting to take away things like the Lucian and the Sivir, and Ultra Prime themselves are going to actually ban this champion away.
So what remains here? Smolder angles are available. I don't think either of these teams can afford to lean into a Senna this game either. If you want to talk scalers, still got your Ezreal floating around here. Corki would Corki. I think this is a pretty fun Corki angle with all the chaos EDG have created with that short range comp like you're talking about.
If EDG can hold the front line forward, for this Corki to fight, it'll be fine. He's going to have a lot of skirmishing potential in the early game. And instead, Ultra Prime are going to be giving themselves some tools to be able to play for Baiye. What is the bot lane pair? We separated the Lovers duo thanks to our first game and Fearless. So Ultra Prime, they can play for some early objectives, but I think EDG are just going to be too tanky right now, especially with Xiaohao on this Xin Zhao. He has an incredible amount of ability to survive thanks to his ultimate, and when becomes lightning, then becomes very difficult to play. Oh, and now we have Nico bottom lane. All right, so I have a very hard time seeing Ultra Prime win this game. Yet again, another
do too.
situation where you have winning lane setups here for EDG. I think they are super tanky on 1 and 2 items. If this goes ultra late, maybe there's a chance, but I need to see something from Ultra Prime in this early game if we're going to have any chance in this game.
And like we talked about before we got into this draft too, as nice as we felt like XiaoXia was against Hoya, you are still playing Sion, and that does take away Ultra Prime's most potent game plan, which is playing for Zhang and playing through him. No matter how you twist it, no matter how you slice it, you are inting if you are playing for the Sion lane. So Ultra Prime, at the very least, outside of everything all just talked about, now have to come out with a new strategy that they've rarely gone through, like you talked about with maybe playing for Baiye, maybe playing for Saber later on. I just think, looking at these two drafts, Junhao is going to be in jail. I don't know how you play Wukong this game. I think playing Wukong is abhorrent.
Now, to be fair, Wukong does get a fair amount of value in this game. There's a lot of champions that are going to be low range into him, so his passive's going to give him a little bit more resistances. The ultimate can also be a stopgap measure versus a champion like a Galio or even the Aatrox. I want to see how he's going to be able to pilot this one. We talked about the aggressiveness of our two bottom lanes. We're finally now going to be able to see what Parukia looks on his first game of Nico. I think it's just really important for them to have a strong showing here because this champion seems like it is not going anywhere in the meta and needs to be a champion that they're going to have ready going into best of 5 fearless games for the play-ins.
It'll be very intriguing knowing that Parukia usually likes to sacrifice his health bar for engages. Can't really do that on Nico. As we hit the rift here. Silent Jio, so I am going to continue to bleed out my point, even though I wish I would be shut up by some awesome fan word. Yeah, okay, we're still in Nirvana.
You should have just kept going, and if they happen, then just egg on your face, okay? That's just how it goes.
Well, it goes nowhere with the Jios, as we get to see exactly what the solo queue super server algorithm feels about this game, feeling like Ultra Prime need to be in control in that mid game, which is an intriguing thought here, is we continue to see On also showing some summoner prioritization a bit different here. I've yet to it's been a while since I've seen a Ghost taken on a Corki.
I think it makes sense. You want the movement speed. They're from Ultra Prime. We said that for both of these teams, they're pretty low range, all things considered, so the movement speed's going to be pretty nice. I like that On is kind of experimenting in that way. And Parukia he was one of our supports that with the spellbook changes, he ignored them. Very early on in the split, he's like, I'm just going to take my Aftershock, and I'm going to face you and try to win the lane outright. Now they have a laning rune yet again here. Let's see if Baiye and XiaoXia can actually apply pressure in the lane, because Xayah Braum can be dangerous if we can get some of those Winter's Bites and concussive blows down.
Have to see, as we have both of our junglers once again pathing opposite. So Xiaohao will be making his way towards this bot side, while Junhao will be pathing towards that Sion. Both these guys, well, more so Junhao going to be waiting for that ultimate, so we'll give some of a skirmishing edge here towards Xiaohao, but expect both junglers to not really come face to face until we start talking about first dragons, first grubs, and all that, as we get a look at Parukia and On as expected, making sure XiaoXia's life is hell, double range into a Braum.
Both of our junglers, like you had mentioned, going to opposite sides, but for EDG, I think it is slightly less advantageous for them, unless they're going to be going for a dive. They have no vision as to where Junhao is, but know that he started on the bottom side of the map, and I wonder if, there's any potential here for Ultra Prime. Maybe you see some early action, maybe around mid lane. You know that Saber is going to be needing at least a little bit of attention as is Victor, but mostly just to cover for him in this lane.
It's always just so tough to try and make a gank work earlier on or pre-6 with Wukong. It's just such a difficult spot to be in.
It's blind!
Blind canceling it. Does he even I don't know if he realizes even that he just canceled a Decimating Smash, because I don't think it shows. So hey,
he'll have gotten the proc, right? He'll know like, oh, okay, I hit something.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
All right, here's the swap though. This is big from Ultra Prime. We always talk about the Sion. You want to get him into the less fun 1v2 and get him out of the matchup against the carry top.
This is what we have to expect, though. That's my fault for not calling it out, but we have a Sion in the game, so swaps are going to be encouraged. Now, Xiaohao does make his way all the way to the bottom side, and they know that XiaoXia's backing. Oh, God.
Oh, there we go. They get the root down coming across from Parukia, and this one was just faded. The way EDG set up for it, excellent spring trap, and they got the kill onto their snowballing Junhao.
But how much of the wave does he get? Oh, he doesn't finish the full wave. He's not going to be able to teleport for this. Now they're going to be swapping On and Parukia all the way up to the top side. ZDZ is going to be able to get this wave under the turret, and I don't think he'll be able to grab himself an entire plate, but still a good advantage already opening up here for EDG.
You heard Alk there talk a bit about teleport prioritization, also especially for top laners. It's a big thing that even you guys at home playing your own ranked games could really learn a thing or two from. And don't take it from us low elo casters. Alk, I'm only talking about myself. I'm not talking about you.
I think we're the same rank, brother.
Okay, don't take it from us low elo casters. You can take it from the pros as well. I'm going to stop my point, though, because this bottom lane really wants to fight. They're showing you how to fight like a pro. And they're going to get the ghost out from Baiye. So now I can finish my point. Our awesome sponsor, ProDiv.gg. You can improve your game, learn from pros in the NACL, ERLs, and even the LTA. LPL 10 to save 10% off. Thank you to ProDiv for allowing us to cast these team fights as a great feather pullback is going to come across from Baiye. And they get rid of Parukia, but Xiaohao was here first, and he's going to make it Ultra Prime's problem as he is going to be able to pick up feats of warfare for Edward Gaming.
Again, 5 minutes in, and the bottom lane's been killed here. This is tough. And Junhao, he's like, okay, well, what can I get as a jungle? I stole his respawn raptors. That's as good as it's going to get for the time being. Junhao, I feel bad, but Ultra Prime, their bottom lane, you had to know that Xiaohao was going to be in the area, not respecting the damage from On and Parukia. Now you've given over a pretty massive lead. You've dropped that wave, and On had already picked up the call beforehand, so he's getting more gold per gold out of these minions right now, and that's just going to continue to compound the advantages that we're seeing here for Edward Gaming.
Gold on gold. EDG are just not messing around, showing that they are much more confident in this matchup against an Ultra Prime team that they were able to wipe the floor with to start their amazing first half in Group Nirvana that they went perfect on with a 2-0 over Ultra Prime. Looking to do the same here as they have, once again, like to remind everyone, if they come across with this 2-0 win, they're giving themselves a lot more breathing room in the first place in Group Nirvana scenarios. They have 1 game worth of wiggle room, so every series you can get through without having to drop that game for Edward Gaming is pretty huge for playing stuff.
I can't believe that this was actually the first matchup of the season for Split 3. This was the very first games that we played. It was also a 2-0 for EDG. It seems like as things have changed, a lot of things have stayed the same. Like you had mentioned, Ultra Prime, or EDG, they can only lose a single game in the next 3 series that they will play, including this one. So a 2-0 here gives them breathing room, like you had mentioned, and already starting off very, very well. Almost 2,000 gold is a lead, and they'll be able to play for these grubs that are spawning in a minute. For me, what I'm going to be watching is our 2 supports. The experience differential between these guys is huge, and having access to that Pop Blossom for Parukia should make a pretty hard case for them to be able to grab whatever objective they want.
It's also going to be hard to leverage any sort of fight for Baiye without ults. If that, well, the ult should be back around, but no Ghost, no Flash. They were able to grab both those clutch summoners off of the Xayah that doesn't have a lot of big damage power at this point. It feels like EDG, whatever neutral objective they want to take in this next sort of window, it'll likely be the grubs, but even the Dragon, Ultra Prime are just going to have to surrender.
And there's just so many powerful ultimates. Saber using the Arcane Storm to try to get priority versus Angel. He comes back to lane. He has a Spectre's Cowl. It seems like for now, Ultra Prime are going to stay away from this top side. They do not want to play anywhere near this Nico and Corki. Let's just go to the bottom side of the map, and hopefully we can grab ourselves the first dragon. Xiaohao is going to grab himself Raptors and move on down. And for a small window here, Zhang has been able to grab priority versus ZDZ.
And it's dwindling after a couple of sweet spot combos, but Junhao, yeah, the attention here is, oh boy, here's another small window. It's called Xiaohao's gonna bust down the door to the Drake pit. Hello, you want this dragon? Let's see if he can take it away, and he will. With the wind becomes lightning into the spine. Oh, poor Junhao. There is nowhere for you to go, but back to base. The flash. Oh, does get around the wind becomes lightning. Hold on, but yeah, Xiaohao had his own flash. XiaoXia flashes forward to try and slow them. Bit of a lost cause play there, and it's getting depressing for Ultra Prime.
We gave over a kill, we had XiaoXia come down and flash. I don't know. I feel like I just got Wukong ulted in my house. There's many things that I'm confused about. And like you had mentioned, I think perfect descriptor for that, a lost cause fight. Just let Junhao die. Let's try to get some vision on the top side of the map right now. Xiaohao has, I think, perfect pathing here. Raptors, get the dragon stolen away. A kill for yourself. And now you can use all of your bottom side respawn camps to go and move into the grubs that are here. This is a smite fight. I mean, he gets level 7 off of this. I guess if you're like a really big fan, you're like, cool, we got the Galio ultimate from Ultra Prime. You're like, yes! But XiaoXia had to use his flash and his teleport. I don't know.
It's a lot of copium for one Galio ult, because guess what? Grubs were still up here, by the way, the entire time, and now Xiaohao, that Pop Blossom you called out earlier, ult is here for Parukia. Yeah, the Ultra Prime, we are still getting in a giving spirit here. It's not the holidays, but it's feeling like it on the Rift.
We are not playing for this, guys. My jungler is taking his third Raptors of the game. My Braum right now is trying to walk over and help Baiye, and Baiye already was looking for a recall. He thought, as most AD carry players, one more wave. One more wave. Now he's going to miss that extra wave and potentially his full turret. I think if Xiaohao comes here, they can actually go for 3 plates, but instead they're going to get the teleport out from Saber.
Saber, yeah. Saber's forced to catch this wave, and On still gets a plate there thanks to the power of those 3 grubs that EDG picks up. Oh boy, I am already struggling all to figure out ways for Ultra Prime to kind of break this blockade that EDG are kind of slip into pretty soundly. Lanes are looking rough.
There's experience differentials in a lot of them right now. I mean, this bottom lane is essentially a full level behind when you think about the advantage that On and Parukia have over their counterparts. And the jungle right now, Xiaohao's almost level 9 at 11 minutes into this game. So the tankiness is only going to get worse here for Ultra Prime. And especially when you look at their team composition, it's going to get worse before it gets any better. Maybe on 3 and 4 items, I think Ultra Prime can fight, but I think at that point the game's going to be too far gone. Junhao is going to be here to protect his mid laner.
But here's the jungler up 2 levels. Yep, here's Xiaohao. Tricks are going to come out, and Cyclone from Junhao just to make sure he doesn't get knocked down by the point of Xiaohao's spear once more. So that kind of fizzles out any top lane play Ultra Prime are trying to make, and well, they're going to probably have to seed this turret as well, unless they can cover for this dive with the Glacial Fissure, but
yeah,
I'm still feeling like they're in the giving spirit.
Fine. Baiye can move over. I think right now what we're trying to do from Ultra Prime's perspective is just protect Junhao's camps. He's already behind as it is. Almost 4 camps. It's going to be 5 camps now for Junhao, and they just try to get him his wolves. Baiye's losing and consistently having to just drop waves to move into his jungle and protect his team. This is like the black hole of pressure now for Ultra Prime. And when one thing starts to go wrong, everything starts to slip.
Yeah, and on the shady side of the map here, it's like, can we get Zhang to move? No, he'll lose a turret doing that, and he's got to ult back to wave with no teleport. Oh, we are stuck. We are in a rut if we are Ultra Prime, and yeah, like you mentioned, it really feels like there's no way back out unless they start to really get proactive with some of their playmaking here, but the items are only going to get more problematic. Angel should have a first reset for a pretty tanky legendary item for his own start. Believe that On, once he gets this cold done, is going to have the Triforce. Oh, he already got it done. He's ahead of the curve there. So
yeah, Trinity Force at 13 minutes. I mean, ZDZ's looking for his recall so he can finish his first item, which looks to be a Sundered Sky. I don't think this gets much better. It's maybe okay now with Baiye finishing an Essence Reaver, but Junhao is nowhere near completed with his Trinity Force, and we have 10 seconds before the Dragon. Another game here where EDG are going to have the first set of grubs. They're going to have themselves also now the 2 dragons to start the game. That's Feats of Strength gone already.
Without a murmur coming over from Ultra Prime, they actually have to watch that dragon get started with the ward that they had in position. I'd like to see them maybe look to punish someone in these lanes as the Drake's going, but Junhao is not in position to come anywhere with this Cyclone, and He now, I believe, has to cover for this top turret. Is Saber doesn't have TP to get up there. They're going to drop more waves. It is death by 1,000 cuts by definition right now from Edward Gaming.
All right, so if we are going to scale as Ultra Prime, look, I've got to get all the copium because it's looking more like a 2-0 than it is. We have got to wait 7 more minutes, which means another Herald that's going to spawn in 1, the Dragon that spawns in 4.5, and we also have to get Baiye to 3, which, from what we've seen from our Xayas, he's going to be picking up a Navori Flicker Blade second, which means he's going to have no damage on the second item spike. And that's really problematic when we talked about the 2 solo laners here for EDG. You have an Aatrox and a Galio. Who's killing these guys?
I don't care if you have 5 people with heal cut. That is not stopping ZDZ anytime soon. You know who spikes really hard on 2 items? Corki with more mana completed. Oh, yeah. Not going to be far away in that aspect either. So, Ultra Prime, we are failing to figure out ways for you to maneuver your way back into this game. But hey, in the LPL, we like to fight over buffs. And EDG really want this blue buff, but even that Ultra Prime are kind of let go to the wayside. I do like Baiye able to get a wave up here onto that mid-tier 1, but he's got to be careful, yeah, that he doesn't just get wrapped.
Saber could actually just die here. CDZ presses the ultimate. If he lands this Q1, let's see what happens. Darken Blade's going to come down. Now, Junhao is coming.
Yeah.
You can already see that Parukia is making his way down. If they can stop this wave, I think Ultra Prime are somehow even worse than how they started this.
Okay, they're now invading back for a blue buff. They get smited away by Xiaohao, but the Cyclone going to pop on him. The good thing he has the Crescent Guard, and a great Pop Blossom is going to stop
they don't know he's
Baiye.
coming!
Flash out from Xiaohao. Parukia low as well. Junhao has to bail out. It's chaos, but look who's on the back end of the fight. It's CDZ. Cleans up 1 kill. First world ender reset. Flashing forward after all of Ultra Prime. His Angel has a flake of his own. He's going to flash, land a huge taunt onto 2. Luckily, he only grabs the tank, so Baiye is able to get a Blade Caller back. Ultra Prime are trying to steady the ship, but over the wall comes Xiaohao, and down comes the damage from Edward Gaming. Zhang is just not taking enough to survive what EDG's doctor prescribed.
That's 2 kills, and what a fantastic amount of patience there from EDG. Wait for Parukia and Xiaohao to get into position. ZDZ playing vision so well in that fight. I can't wait to look back on the replay for that. Just watching this Aatrox walk through Fog of War where Ultra Prime could get nothing done. They don't have any damage in this instance. And now they lose out on multiple kills and this mid-tier 1. So everything is continuing to go the way of Edward Gaming, who continue to prove that they don't belong here in Group Nirvana. Just look at the minimap right now. The ping's coming out. They know that Victor is coming, and for Ultra Prime's sake, they don't know where this Aatrox is right now. He could be coming from mid lane. He could be following behind Xiaohao. So once he pops up behind them, they know that this is cooked.
You know damage is low, all Quinn. You got 3 people hitting a Nico using Pop Blossom, and the Nico doesn't get 1 shot.
Yeah. It's tough. It is a tough look. Ultra Prime, they had few windows for them to find, and a lot of the matchups have so far not gone their way. Speaking of, we come out of live, and that is going to be XiaoXia picked up right as the Herald spawns, so perfect time.
Yeah. Also, fits into your window of Ultra Prime not getting picked off in within a minute and a half of another neutral, because technically he dies 1 minute and 28 seconds away from 3rd Drake, which is Infernal, known very well to not help out teams snowballing, as I've heard.
You know what's also funny is because this was the bottom lane getting caught here. Baiye has no flash now, so
Angel doesn't either.
Okay.
All right. Phase rush. Oh no, they're here to cover even for Angel. Oh, Ultra Prime, nothing is going right.
Well, guess what? Usually it's not Junhao who's the victim here, but getting caught out before an objective. No flash for Baiye. No life here for Junhao. He's going to have his camps taken away as well. Baiye is now going to be forced away from the mid lane wave, and EDG, the riches become even more so. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we are just absolutely demolishing Ultra Prime.
And here comes the Herald. Oh, they've caught up Baiye and Saber. Featherstorm's all he got, but he still eats the Tangle Barb down. And On's Rocky picks up the 9th kill here turrets going down. The only thing Ultra Prime can desperately clutch towards is that they won't be in a perfect game scenario off the one kill they've been able to pick up in this game.
One grub. Or one kill. That's as far as it's going to go here. Parukia.
Oh, Parukia. Yep, able to grab himself 2 members as the turret goes down into a double taunt. It's just layering masterfully coming across right now for Edward Gaming, who are just pushing the tempo more and more forward, trying to get this game wrapped up with a nice bow.
All right, Slayer and everyone in chat, I'm going to have to hold this potentially as they look for play under the turret. I don't think it's very real.
All right,
okay.
Parukia just died for very little, but hey, turret's down, and that's what we call plus EV gold play for Edward Gaming.
Okay, oh my god, the AI crap.
That's the most one side I've ever seen that. Yep.
It's very fair, very fair. They're going to take all these topside camps. Maybe they just decide, look, they can't go for the dragon anyway. Let's just play for top tier 1 as well. Okay, sure.
Junhao. Time to chase down Ultra Prime jungler. ZDZ used all of his World Ender timer, but the demise is only coming here for Junhao. Hey, good redemption deal. Hold on. Saber's here.
Okay.
Hold on. Angel's dead. All right. There's no World Ender. How did Xiaohao get that deep? How did Baiye die? I don't know, but all right, guess what? I think Xiaohao might just walk through the turret. No, he's not going to need it. There's a TP coming in. This is dysfunctional by definition. EDG gonna look to re-engage. Flash over Parukia gets 2-for-1 special on the Tangle Barb, and both tanks should drop. And yep, the rocket over the wall on. Let's see how much he wants to limit test with this lead. Nope, he's gonna let XiaoXia survive.
There was no Otacon to try to do that for. I was like, okay, what are we doing this? Are we trying to play? This is the play of how we got to see Baiye get caught. I assumed it was either him walking back from base or something like that, but in a small span of time, Zhang dies twice. Remember, he died in mid lane, teleported top, and died again. And EDG just got themselves 4 turrets in the last 2 minutes. And there's still a dragon to play for. I don't know what else to say. There was some shutdown gold that goes over to Ultra Prime, but continuing to snowball this advantage that they find themselves 2 games in a row.
Just look at On's items, guys. It's 21 minutes and enemy Corki
and he has
3 items. Okay. Yep. And more Armada completed. That alone should terrify you. And yeah, I mean, oh, because it's just like, yeah, Dragon's up, we'll take that. Oh, Ontacon's right there. Why don't we just do that too? Like,
yeah,
the rich get richer.
The player gold you just saw on the left side of your screen definitely, I feel like, exemplifies this fact. They could start this up. I think they do need to wait for ZDZ to move on over, and it seems like EDG do want to spend some of their gold that they just got from not only killing Dragon, but taking multiple members down from Ultra Prime. So probably going to be playing on not this wave, but the next one for EDG as the Otacon starts to get spun up. Still a lot of summoner spells missing here for Ultra Prime, and it doesn't get easier, right? We said maybe on 3 items there's a chance here, and Ultra Prime, they've hit 2 items for Saber and Baiye, but not huge spikes, especially with the nerfs to Leandries a couple of patches ago, and for Baiye, that Navoric Filter Blades is all attack speed.
No AP, Saber? No AP. That's what that build says to me right now. And yeah, him getting the heal cut orb is also just further pushing down his damage timer. This game could just be decided very much so with a final stamp at Otacon, the way Ultra Prime are just going to yeet themselves toward this objective. Angel can eat a Braum stun. Engage comes across Junhao, but they weren't ready for Parukia in the bush, who grabs himself 3-for-1 on the pop. Awesome Zhang into the backline. The Argon execute Parukia, but he was on a one-man mission. The rest of EDG should be here to clean things up. Featherstorm down for Baiye. Try to create space up against Xiaohao. Blade Caller back, but he gets flashed on by ZDZ, who knocks him back down to the base.
He's teleporting in front of them.
Oh my god. Angel just TP'd over their head, says, you've got no escape route, Ultra Prime, and you have no way out, Saber, as he desperately tries to kite himself back towards the Otacon, buying himself a lot of time, but death is inevitable for him in this game. Another wipe-down fight from Edward Gaming.
You could see it in the player cams. Parukia's having fun. I'm assuming the boys on EDG are having a fun time here in this series. A good bounce back after their loss against NIP. And they're back from their break, and it looks like they have not missed a beat. I feel bad for Rafa, honestly. He is the one that was really hoping for an undefeated split, and won't be the case, but when you look at this fight, it is just so easy to see. I mean, Ultra Prime, they're too far behind. EDG are really slapping them with their wallets and the combat efficacy of their champs. We come back to live.
Bye-bye, Junhao.
Xiaohao and On have killed Junhao. This is just a formality, the rest of this game. We're 24 minutes in, and there is a 15,000 gold lead here for EDG. All right, this was kind of the bet that I wanted to take. Do we see a 20,000 gold lead? I've only seen it once, both in NACL and in LPL. We've only seen a 20,000 gold lead a single time.
It's a great question. I'm trying to think
asking,
about
it's a bet. Over, under. Do
yeah.
you think it's going to happen or not?
Under. I'm going to say under. I don't think there's enough standing gold, and I don't think these kills are going to, A, be worth enough gold to catch up, and B, are going to be plentiful enough for them to get here. I think the way they're knocking down turrets, if they win one more fight wiped like that, they just win the game. But Ultra Prime might make me eat my words. Zhang is going to TP behind. It's going to be spotted here by EDG. They're going after On, who has a fat bounty of his own to try and collect, but Xiaohao's doing a pretty good job playing bodyguard. Drops the crescent guard, so Baiye doesn't get any damage. Parukia going to go over the wall to get himself another multi-man Pop Blossom. One-man mission, but EDG with ZDZ's flank should be able to just mop up the rest of these kills like a knife through butter. Downfall Ultra Prime once more. It's only Saber alive, but he has ZDZ chasing him down rapidly. And he might just carry all of EDG into the base with him, the only one to survive another white fight for Edward Gaming.
All right, 16,000 gold. Baron's gonna give them 1,500. I think it's possible. They're gonna have to wait another way. They had no minion waves set up. I think we're gonna see a 20,000 gold difference. This gold graph is gonna be so terrible at the end of this game.
Oh boy. I think they are gonna get it. Baron with all the turrets they're going to knock down. They win one more fight. I feel like a very silly better.
Dragon spawning in 50. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yay!
Oh
they can do
my
LPL.
lord.
They can feel my casting. They know what we're talking about on the show.
Oh lordy. Okay. Ooh, I'm running out of words now too. I don't. That is a sea of red in the gold graph. Wow. So Ultra Prime, you got a really important series coming up after this one.
Yeah. yeah, that is true. Ultra Prime, the rest of their season, they still have a single series after this. They will play against LGD to end out their split, and that will be, I think that's actually on the last day of the split, potentially. No, it is on the 25th. So,
okay.
Starting on a Monday, it'll be the first match. After that will be BLG and FPX. But that will be a game that helps decide whether or not they can make it into playoffs. And really, really important kind of series for them. EDG, they've got Baron.
Guys.
We do not care about this Dragon, guys.
Give up your base for Dragon. All in for Dragon so that you don't get 20k gold lead. All right.
True.
Because if you fight, you give away 20k gold lead. All right.
Oh,
man. Yeah, 20k is so locked, dude. It's so locked. Oh, they're death rushing.
Can we? Okay, so this will be an objective bounty if Ultra Prime can steal this.
Or if they get some of these shutdowns. Everyone on EG has shutdowns.
That's true.
We just need to get some kills, guys, to keep my bet alive. But they're already on the wrong side of the river. And Parukia.
No.
All right, good Featherstorm from Baiye. So he doesn't get grabbed by the Pop Blossom, but here's their entrance to it. Xiaohao's going onto the back line. See if they get any of these kills back. Maybe there's a hope. No, it's all crushed under the heel of EDG, and the gold lead should go over 20k. We're at 19.5.
Yes, they're going to get mid-wave. Let's go, 20,000. Yay.
I'm waiting. We're not. Oh, come on. Let's see. I think they should get all these turrets, right? Oh, we're so close.
There we go.
20k. All right, that's what we're cheering for, because that's how badly EDG just wiped the floor with Ultra Prime as they 2-0 them to start off their last 3 series of the regular split.
Show me that gold graph, LPL. I want to see 20,000 on it. I need to see it. Great job from EDG, a 2-0. To be expected as we came in, but I know we were kind of riding a little high off of an insane series from Ultra Prime. EDG showing that they are still head and shoulders above the rest of Group Nirvana.
And while, there isn't much to break down about this series, I do kind of want to go back to the combo we were having before all the 20k gold lead shenanigans coming across. Last thing I'll say about the 20k gold lead, it was just because I can't remember in the many random Tier 3 NA games that I casted, if I've ever seen 20K, I'm going to pretend like this was my first 20K gold.
There you go.
It probably
so
wasn't.
The first 20K you remember.
Yes, there you go, for that marker. But let's remember how big of a series this was for LGD. You talked how much about how Ultra Prime, what this meant for them. They're going to be playing LGD. With this 2-0 loss for Ultra Prime, LGD are officially locked. 3rd seed out of Group Nirvana.
That is true. With them being 4-4, Ultra Prime cannot beat their game record right now, and more importantly, that game differential. LGD are 9-10, so they're at a -1. Ultra Prime now with this, they will move to 9-15, which puts them at -6. There is absolutely no way that Ultra Prime can beat them in that sense. So, unfortunate, especially for an Ultra Prime that we're kind of getting a little bit hyped for, but kind of sucks when some of your last couple series are up against really big teams. And the funny part of this, too, is that Ultra Prime's last series is against LGD.
Yeah, so for all the talk we had about... I don't want to damper that. Group Nirvana still has more important games much later than it did last split. But with this result, that last matchup for LGD becomes officially a tune-up match. Or if they're really inspired by which team they want to let into play-ins, they can play really hard, or you know, who knows?
I'm sure Ultra Prime do not want to get into play-ins, guys. I'm sure of it. You know, they would not love to play a single best-of-5 to get back in.
Yeah, oh no, I'm saying for LGD, right? It's like the only stakes you have in that series is, do you want to ruin Ultra Prime split or not? And a tune-up for that play-in stage.
Trying to see what else. So this is, again, still really big kind of implications. Real quick, either we could do this, I think, before some of the stats. Thank you. I do kind of want to see if we can get the standings up really quickly, because what this means now, Thunder Talk and LNG have a chance. LNG we saw in Split 1. Somehow they avoided relegation after being the worst team in the league. Can they make the magic happen again? That's up for debate. But this leaves that the ability for those two teams to make it into play-ins for that last spot.
Ooh, yeah, and that's so crazy that LNG are still going to have hopes. Are they playing? Who are they matched up against? I believe
so LNG, unfortunately, they have Thunder Talk and EDG. There's a 21,000 goal lead. Yes! Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, the last two games, especially that last game for LNG, playing against EDG, not exactly exciting. And that'll actually be on Sunday. LNG play 2 back-to-back games. They'll be playing on Super Saturday, first against Thunder Talk, and then Sunday, like we had mentioned.
And you know what sucks for LNG is you'd be like, oh yeah, EDG, they've been locked play-ins, right? Like, they've been dominating. They shouldn't have anything to play for for that series. Yeah, they aren't allowed to drop more than 1 game in their last 2 series. And you think they're going to want to do it against LNG? Nah, so. Hey, again, feeds into the narrative. Basically, every Group Nirvana game, maybe down to the last one we get for this split, is
all
going to matter to somebody. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. I'm super happy about that. There's so many times we get into like the last 3 days. It kind of feels like the end of school, of the school semester. You're going into summer. You're like, okay, last couple days of school don't matter. And same thing usually for a lot of our competitive formats. But here in Group Nirvana, at the very least, the last couple games going into the end of the split are going to mean something.
You know, the funny part about that analogy is like, for me, the last couple days of school, the only reason they matter is because you get to do like fun things in the class.
Yes.
Like you get, like watch a movie, or like everyone gets to play board games. The equivalent of that for us and all the viewers at home is that in those games that don't matter at all, usually you get fun champion picks. That's like the equivalent of getting to watch a movie in your final class, or play board games all class long. It's like, hey, you're gonna see some champions that weren't picked all split, because why not?
I'm just really happy that we got to have... I'm trying to think about... Some of my last days of, like, elementary school were not great. I had, there was one day where I brought, like, 150 Pokemon cards, but I didn't have a place to put them. So I had them in my, like, my cargo pants. So I was walking around with a fat stack of cards. And then, like, the last hour of class, my teacher's like, oh yeah, those are actually not allowed at school. So she confiscated them. I don't know why we're doing this on one of the last days of class.
Oh. All right, you want to hear I have one. Okay. I
Gotta
think
do this
this will be
quickly.
fine.
Remember, got MVP coming up.
Okay. So you play people played sports at lunch. Obviously, I look like a guy that played sports at lunch. You know, football, touch football. The last touch football game I ever played in 6th grade, my final year in elementary school, somebody elbowed someone trying to catch a ball under their jaw with their tongue sticking out, and they bit through their tongue in the last football scrimmage we ever played. So that's
tough.
one of my bad memories.
Yeah, that would be the last time I played touch football. I agree.
Yeah. That was that's
MVP.
the one memory I have. I feel like Junhao. Yeah, you're gonna sit with that one for a second. Xiaohao, I think, might deserve it, but they might give it to On because he was like 5K up on his opponent.
We thought he was gonna get MVP for last game, or at least I did, because he started off the game 3-0. There we go. Double 2-0 Xiaohao MVPs going up to 8, which does mean he actually climbs up to Tai, Jackie Love, and Monkey, as well as Nayo and Tarzan. So currently there is a 5-way tie for most amount of MVPs, and 2 of them now belong to Group Nirvana teams.
2 of them belong to Group Nirvana junglers. And that's funny, knowing how much Group Ascend junglers have changed around. Guys, don't get crazy, all right? We've had enough swapping there. But hey, speaking on Group Ascend, that's where we're heading next, folks, as this has just been a little bit of a warm-up for our very fun series coming up next. It is JD Gaming, with still a little bit of hope to get into top 4, but they got to go up against a BLG team that just had one of the worst single throws seen all year in the LPL, and they are definitely mad about it. We'll see how that series looks after intermission when we break down the 2 teams. We'll see you guys in a few.